What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Educated Barfly. Today I have a very special episode for you. But before we do that, you're going to help me hit the 4 pillars of YouTube algorithm success. I like it. I like to echo it on the finish there. So what you guys are going to do is, like my friend Graham Stephan says, smash the like button and then press subscribe and then press the bell icon for notifications. And then you should also, pretty please, comment for the algorithm. Just make the algorithm happy so we can make you happy. I do this for you. You do that for me. Everybody's happy. Bada bing, bada boom. Today, the special episode that we have is something that we've never done before. So there is this guy named Jean Felix who is in Montreal. Is he in Montreal or Quebec?
I don't know. Canada.
He's in Canada somewhere. I want to say Montreal. I might be wrong about that. Anyway, he has a cocktail channel called Truffles On The Rocks, and he has it's a great cocktail channel. He doesn't have very many subscribers, which honestly really surprises me because the guy is a photographer and videographer by trade, so everything that he does looks good. He's a talented bartender, and he makes great drinks, and he makes great tutorials, and the format of what he does is really awesome. I really like it. Don't you? You've watched something.
Yeah, but how long has he been doing it?
I don't know how long he's been doing it, but I kind of feel like he should get some love. So I think all you guys should go type in Truffles on the Rocks into search in YouTube and go hit subscribe on his channel. It's a really great channel. Anyway, he decided to challenge me to a cocktail challenge, and he sent me this video. Let's take a look at it.
What's up, guys? My name is Felix from Truffles on the Rocks, and I'm taking over the Educated Barflies channel today for just a few seconds because I wanted to challenge Leandro to create a cocktail that could play tricks on you. I love when a cocktail involves more than one sense, and that's the reason why today I'm challenging you, my friend, to create a cocktail that could be both very smoky in taste, but would have a very crisp and bright aroma, or the other way around, something that would be very refreshing in taste, but would have a heavy, smoky smell to it. So the ball is in your court now, my friend. Can't wait to see what you're gonna come up with. Have a great day, guys. See you soon. Bye.
All right, so Jean Felix, challenge accepted. I'm going to try and make a cocktail that is both refreshing, but then also has smoked elements and seems one way when you get it, but then also is something completely different when you taste it. I think I can do that. And I've been very bad this year about just doing cocktails for different events. The Oscars is this Sunday. From today, it is this Sunday. And we didn't make any Oscar cocktails. When I brought it up to Marius was like, I didn't do that well last year. So, right? You just didn't want to really... Yeah. Because last year, it was a fine video, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't explode. It wasn't like it went viral, so what's the point?
Also, the movies aren't that good.
Right, but we are actually at Kohl's we did an Oscar menu, and I actually diligently created Oscar cocktails, and I used this challenge as a opportunity to sort of create one of the Oscar cocktails for Kohl's, and then also kind of a little like kill two birds with one stone situation there. So this one is is inspired by Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I gotta say is a movie that I didn't really fall in love with when I first saw. And I'm a big Tarantino fan, but this one to me, it took a while to kind of grow on me, but after subsequent viewings, I really kind of fell in love with it. And really, I fell in love with Will Dalton, which is Leonardo DiCaprio's character, a down and out actor that was on this, once very popular kind of show that was a Western kind of show. He's sort of like a Tarantino is actually very, 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 very obsessed with John Wayne style characters. This is like at least the second movie where he has that sort of John Wayne style character. And it's funny is that the last John Wayne style character was in Inglourious Basterds, and it was played by Brad Pitt. And now Brad Pitt's playing the supporting.
What do you call it?
Like that sort of archetypal, sort of badass John Wayne sort of character. Inglourious Basterds? What?
Inglorious?
Inglourious Basterds is the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Why? What do you think it was called? Glorious Bastards?
No, it was just a weird pronunciation of...
Inglorious?
Inglorious, yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
I thought you said inglorious.
So now you are going to join the ranks of everyone that breaks my balls on this channel?
I'm gonna get ahead of the curve.
You're gonna, you are getting ahead of the curve. So you are then also going to break my balls on pronunciation. Yeah. All right, well, I think it's called Inglourious Basterds, but maybe you should Google it and correct me. But actually, if you stop the video, you want to correct me, you better be damn sure you know how to actually pronounce the word. There, Mr. Marius. Yeah. All right, can I continue with the video? All right. So, Will Dalton, where was I? So there is a scene in the movie that is one of my absolute favorite scenes. Should I act it out, Marius, or should we just show the clip?
You should act it out.
Okay, so basically, DiCaprio comes into his trailer and he's...
Enter
I'm not
stage.
going to do that. I'm just...
Okay.
God. Oh, God, you can't remember your lines. You goddamn embarrass yourself in front of all those people. Goddamn drinking all night. Goddamn drinking 8 whiskey sours. That's what he does. All right, so that was my reenactment of DiCaprio scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that inspired this cocktail. But I think that DiCaprio is a better actor than me, and now you can see why I stopped acting. So why don't we actually show you the actual clip from the movie, and then we'll get into making the drink. Let's roll that clip.
Okay, damn it, Rick. I swear to God. Fucking lines, embarrass yourself like that in front of all those goddamn people. Well, you were drinking all night. Fucking drinking again. 8 goddamn fucking whiskey sours. Fucking bullshit. You're a fucking miserable drunk. You're sitting there like a fucking baboon. 8 fucking whiskey sours. I couldn't stop at fucking 3 or 4, 8.
All right, so there you have it. So Will Dalton, let's talk about the inspiration for this cocktail. So obviously we're going to do a whiskey sour because Will Dalton likes to drink his whiskey sours. He drank 8 whiskey sours before he had to go to work the next day. And then on top of that, and not only that, but you know that he was drinking alone at home because that's what he tends to do. His whole thing is like, he tends to like make a whole bunch of drinks and then like sit in his pool and listen to lines from the next day's shooting while he like on a little radio, like a little tape deck like thing, and then drink basically in his pool until he passes out. Obviously this guy's kind of an alcoholic and he is a complete chain smoker as well. He just smokes and smokes and smokes and smokes. So I thought this smoked element inside a whiskey sour would be kind of nice. And then it also has it fulfills the requirement, I think, that Jean-Felix asked, where is this is going to seem like, this is going to cocktail that seems like it's going to taste one way and it's going to have a surprise element, which is that smoke. I did not want to smoke the cocktail with a smoking gun or smoke the glass because that's what everyone does when they think of smoke. What I decided to do instead was make a tea syrup from this Chinese tea called Lapsang souchong, which is basically the tea leaves are smoked over pine wood fires. And it has this very smoked pine wood flavor. This got to be very careful with something like this because this ingredient, this flavor is going to really, it can overtake all the other flavors in the cocktail. And I think that I've done a pretty good job of balancing all the flavors. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do 3/4 of an ounce of the Lapsang souchong syrup. And then we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. We're going to do 1/2 ounce of orange juice. And then we're going to do 1/2 ounce of this Amaro Angeleno, which is a local Amaro made with Valencia oranges. Now, worldwide, you guys are not going to be able to get you're not necessarily going to be able to get this, so you can sub it out for Curacao, which will have kind of the same effect, and then maybe a couple of drops of, I would say, orange bitters to sort of kind of mimic this flavor if you cannot get this product. But if you can, I highly recommend that you do it. And I also have to thank the good people at Ventura Spirits because this was one of the bottles that broke when our shelf failed in my garage, and they came the next day. Brian Chenault, the brand ambassador, came like the next day or the day after to replace our bottle and also taste me on some new products, which was really good. So we're going to do 1/2 ounce of the Amaro Angeleno, which is going to kind of give it that bitter quality. And then we're going to do 1.5 ounces of 114 proof bourbon, which I think is... like if I were Will Dalton, this is what I would be drinking whiskey sours with. He is absolutely an alcoholic and he likes his booze. So why not booze it up with a very strong bourbon? The other thing is that this is going to, because it's so proofy, it's going to be nice and spicy and it's going to hold up against that Lapsang souchong. So then we're going to bring our other tin over here. We're going to crack an egg into it. And yes, I absolutely 100% did crack it on the side of the tin. And that was 100%, that was my intent 100%. A lot of people go, oh, you're going to crack it on a flat surface because you went to culinary school and that's what they say. And that makes sense when you're putting something into a bowl with a thicker rim. But this is a very thin rim and it will crack the egg a lot more efficiently. Yes, I did get a little egg white on the cutting board. That's okay. That's quite all right. And we're just going to add our cocktail in. And I'm going to let it sit there for a second. I'm going to grab a rag from off and got to do a little cleany poo while we're waiting. And we're going to give it a nice emulsifying shake. You can shake it for as long as you want. 30 seconds would be sufficient, but this is how we are going to emulsify the egg. All right, let's see. See what we got there. Ooh, nice and frothy. And then we're going to take our big rock of ice. We're going to drop it in here now. We are shaking with a big rock of ice because big rocks of ice will impart a very little dilution, but it also will give you that big rock will give you this really superior foam. And we're going to give it a nice hard shake with that. And then we are gonna strain, I like to double strain my sours into our nice glass. There we go. Now, before we put our bitters garnish, I'm gonna do a little Angostura bitters garnish, and Marius actually made, we made our own little, Marius made this, the stencil of a gun because I thought that would be very fitting to have like our Angostura float be a gun. But before I do that, I hadn't planned on doing this, but what I wanted to do actually is I like to do this with sours. So to help the bubbles settle so that you can get a better Angostura float, I like to take just anything. It could be a muddler or like usually you do it with a muddler. I have this Japanese knife that has this Japanese ice carving knife that has this nice sheath. So it's just like a wood stick, and basically you just want to tap the bottom. And what that's going to do is help settle the bubbles. So you get like a better, because you want those bitters to really sit right on top. All right, and then we're going to try and place this. This is very big compared to the glass. It's like arguably maybe even a little too big. Just do that. And then we're gonna spray. And then hopefully it worked. Ah, it didn't work. No, it didn't really work. That's a bummer. Sorry, guys. I think what you really need for those types of stencils, Marius, is you really need to have like a stencil that won't bend. You know, like it's got to be like we need to cut it like an X-Acto, cut it out of plastic to really have it work.
Yeah, if it hadn't, the problem was that it touched the foam and then it kind of glued to the foam and lifted it up.
So let's taste the actual cocktail. Now we have this nice, we want to have a little Angostura float on it. You can make it look like a blood stain or something. Just like I don't know, Jackson Pollock some bitters on there then, I guess, for the I would hate to have to reshoot this just because I kind of screwed the...
It looks like the blood in the pool.
Yeah, it's like blood in the pool.
And then one of the guys got killed in the pool, wasn't it?
Well, that chick that came in, she was like, that chick that came in all beat up, got set, like fell in the pool, and then he set her on fire.
Mm. Oh yeah, with the torch.
With the torch, yeah, with the flamethrower that he got from like that Nazi movie that he did. All right. Oh yeah. That's great. So it's like this. It's almost like a traditional whiskey sour flavor, but you have that smoked tea finish. And then what you have, what's really nice, is you add like a little bit of body and a little bit of sweetness from the orange, and then the orange bitters, this Amaro Angeleno, gives it like a nice bittering note on the finish. But it's still pretty refreshing, and you still have your smoked. You still have your that smoked flavor. What I like about it is that the bourbon is really prominent, and you get that like simple syrup balanced out with I switched that. You get that lemon balanced out with simple syrup and bourbon. You get that whole flavor profile, but then you have this nice sort of bitter touch on the finish from the Amaro Angeleno, and you have the smoked element from the Lapsang souchong. The way that I actually created this was I just did one tea bag, which was about I think that one tea bag of Lapsang souchong that I have is about a teaspoon and a half of tea. And then I just boiled a cup of water, put the tea in there, steeped it for 5 minutes, and then I put in an equal amount of sugar, so like 1-to-1 simple syrup. And then that's how I made the tea. So if you do it with 2 bags or whatever, just remember you kind of want to test it for strength, because the stronger in tea flavor you have, it's going to definitely affect the balance of the drink. And then on top of that, like this tea is very, very smoky, and it's very, very, very like characteristic. It's very strong. So the thing is that you want to make sure that you kind of get the right balance that you want, because you don't want the tea to overpower the bourbon and the other ingredients. But I think I did a pretty good job balancing this out. I hope you guys like it, and I hope some of you go out there and kind of make this and then drink your whiskey sours while you're watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and kind of cheers Will Dalton in that scene that he's berating himself for forgetting his lines and embarrassing himself in front of everybody and just being a terrible actor. Yeah, and then I got a challenge. I got to challenge Jean-Philip's back. I think that's the thrust of this video. Is to challenge him back.
So he's gonna make it and then judge you? Is that how we do this?
Well, I think he's gonna make it. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we've really gotten that far with him. How about this? Yeah, why don't you do that? So Jean-Felix, now he's got to make a video of him making it and then critiquing the cocktail. And then we should just trade this back. So I should give him a ingredient to work with, right?
Yeah.
I already know what it's going to be.
All right.
Well, I mean,
so
it's
you're just like pretending to...
No. Here's the thing. It's because, you know why, actually? Because once I say what the ingredient is, you're going to be like, oh, yeah. I remember that ingredient from a past email that we had that went back and forth and didn't go anywhere. But I'm going to do the same ingredient. So, Jean-Felix, I challenge you to make a cocktail with umeshu, which is Japanese plum wine. I think that would make a very good ingredient for cocktails. I have seen it used here and there. I'd like to see what you do with it. And then, yeah, I guess what you will do now is you'll make this cocktail, which is called the Bounty Lost Sour, and you'll judge, kind of judge it and see how you like it. See how this cocktail hits you. All right, guys. Well, I think that's all the time that we have for today. So if you like our channel, please hit like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon, comment. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/educatedbarfly, where we do lots of very cool stuff for you, and in exchange for you helping us with this channel. Goes a long way. And I guess I go see you on another time.